Message coming in. Patching it through.
So what's going to happen is we're going to bring out these two guys you might have heard of, and Mike and Ming are going to...
We're going to mingle amongst you folks, and we're going to, if you've got questions, let me or Ming know. We'll come over and we'll, oh my God. I'm seeing a whole bunch of Ricks over there. You're very, very startling.
Council of Ricks.
Yes. So let us know and we'll come and you can ask your question. If it sucks, I'm going to walk away from it.
So we'll ask very quickly. So,
yes.
Without further ado, that's what they say, right, Ming? Come on. Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland.
I brought my little binder with me.
Hello. So, now personally, I never watch television unless someone, like I knows me, recommends it. And I have a good friend, Brian Quinn, Hugh, he's on Impractical Jokers. And he told me, you've got to watch this show, Rick and Morty, you're going to love it. So I watched it, obviously.
Begrudgingly?
I loved it. Yeah, I was like, That was my first exposure to Rick and Morty. My second exposure was Hugh calling me one night, weeping. Like, it sounded like he was weeping. And talking about how he wanted to end it all, very depressed. And he's like, I can't even talk anymore, just talk to these guys. And suddenly the voices of Rick and Morty come on, and they intermittently start insulting me. Well, Rick's insulting me, Morty's defending me. Then they get off the phone and Quinn's like, just call me tomorrow. And then I hear drunken cackling, and this is like 2 in the morning. And
I don't remember, but I think that's probably why I don't remember. It sounds like a drunken,
it's 100%
nonsensical.
I was like, is he hanging out? Because I didn't know he knew you at that point. So I'm like, is he hanging out with the guy who does the Rick and Morty voices? And sure enough, he was. So he led me to believe he was going to kill himself just to set up a joke. So that's like, hey, I'm hanging out with the Rick and Morty guy.
I don't remember any of this. It's for sure, it's true.
Yeah, I kept the voicemail. My niece, who's only 10, and it's completely inappropriate for her to watch a show, loves to listen to it over and over again. But you guys have created my favorite animated series of all time.
Oh my God! Look at the weird Morty pillow thing. What is that? What even is that? Oh my! Where? Throw it in the air. The giant weird. No, I mean don't lose it. But
how do you know it's a Morty?
Well, like tilt it the other way. There you go. There it is. There's someone with too much time on their hands. It's just betting.
So I'm not a fan of panels where like somebody sits up there and is like, so, and then asks you like a real basic interview question. I always think it's the good people who come here and support it. Like,
I see a few Ricks out there.
Yeah, it's
oh, dude, there's like a Muppet Rick over there. It looks like Beaker from the Muppets. Meep.
The meth head Rick.
Jeez, Rick. We got a real Muppet Rick.
Morty, meep.
Oh man, what the hell? Look at that Rick, it's amazing. Is the eye hole where the mouth is? It's got to be, right? Yeah. Okay.
I was Captain Crunch in Milwaukee. I had to be a Captain Crunch for a promotion that they were doing, and I could see through the Captain Crunch mouth. That's what I would look at the kids through when they would hit me. I'd grab them and go, knock it off. And so the kids would just have Captain Crunch's mouth right in their face. Knock it off. I'm 23. No one will believe you.
I was going to say, what year is this where someone's like, look, Captain Crunch is hot?
Yeah, we're trying to make it hotter. These kids are too young, but Captain Crunch had a promotion that was Who's the Real Captain? The captain had been cloned, and so there were Captain Crunches throughout the country wandering around.
Sci-fi level
I was
stuff.
one of them. Unfortunately, I was one on ice skates at Milwaukee's Winterfest.
Did that pay well?
Yeah, they paid some minimum wage, and guess what happens when a human pillow goes out on an ice rink with a bunch of 6-year-olds?
Oh no.
All right, back to the show. Excelsior.
So Ming, do you have anyone with a question?
Who's got a question here? Over here, I'm over here on the
Oh, come on, I'm ready over here.
Right here,
You
gentlemen,
suck,
here.
Ming.
Quick
There's
silver
your
now.
question,
What's
Brian,
your
right
question,
over
sir?
here. Look over here.
Where am I?
I'm right here, you got it.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Like I said, we only have 25 minutes.
So there are so many really great, memorable characters on the show, but Mr. Meeseeks has to be my personal favorite.
Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me! I'm Mr. Meeseeks!
Where did that come from? What was that born out of? How did you find that character?
I mean, I'd have to give a little credit to Mike Chillian, my friend, I think, because he had a cat named Ski Seeks, which, by the way, this is all years later. I realized, like I was like, oh my god, I think I was tapping into hearing his cat's name.
Did you see his
when we were
shirt?
in
Yeah,
writer's
oh, the
room.
Stranger Things thing?
He had some story, whatever the story was, and I was like, this isn't fun. This isn't fun. It should be fun. And I'm on my back, I'm rolling around in
I
the
remember
writer's
you
room.
rolling around on the floor, and I was like looking at Ryan Ridley, and we were talking about the story has to have. I was like, can we just do this show? Just look at him, and he was just like, Mr. Meeseeks. Look, his name's Mr. Meeseeks. Work with him. That's our job.
And then we were like, well,
That's
okay,
so
well,
good.
Yeah, Harmon was like, all right, well, Mr. Meeseeks, okay, we'll put that in. That'll be part of it.
And then we ripped off Scud the Disposable Assassin.
Yeah. It's like the opposite, though, because the Meeseeks are trying to die, whereas Scud is trying to stay alive. You see the difference? Legally safe. Our friend Schraub can't sue us.
I don't think he ever copyrighted those books. I watched him publish them on his kitchen table.
Yeah.
Before one more question, I have to say, when I say that the show is my favorite animated show of all time, I knew it when it was the episode where Rick and Morty, they go into the battery, they go into another world, and it's like, must keep summer safe.
Yeah.
And they create that virtual reality, like, kid who comes out of the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, your loved ones can be brought back.
Yeah.
It can also be taken away. I was like, that is the darkest thing I've ever seen on television. Like, I rewound it to make sure I saw it correctly.
Yeah, I'll take credit for that idea, because I wanted to explore the idea that security can hurt so much more. But the idea of rules that people can't get hurt, the idea of ratings, TV-14, and explicit lyrics and things. It's like, you're just going to have to go to a darker place to affect people.
Dude, it was insane. I was like, what person came up with this?
Yeah.
Now I know.
Alan Tudyk did the voice of the cop, which I thought was incredible. You guys fans of Firefly? Anybody? Alan Tudyk?
Yeah!
Just an incredible performance. I felt like really grounded, emotional, yeah. And that episode in general is incredible. It's just a good episode. It's Dan Guterman's script, right? One of Guterman's, I think. Who is our writer on the show?
I'll fanboy out for a second and say there's not a bad episode.
Question over here to the left. Right over here, your question, sir.
So, will
to
you
your
ever
left.
see a return of Operation Kitten Calendar, possibly?
Oh man, that's a deep cut. Deep cut.
That was Donald Trump before he was really
Before we knew what was going to happen. No.
If you can find Operation Kitten Calendar on the internet, we did a VH1 sketch show a long time ago. Justin played a character who had a reality show. It was a very Trump-esque kind of tycoon who had become famous by making the Hang in There Kitten Calendar picture. And so his reality show was kind of part Project Runway, part God knows what. And it was him trying to...
Competition-based reality.
It was just him physically or psychologically abusing the female contestant that he wanted to date. And
Check it out. Google it. Operation Kitten Calendar. Also, Mr. Sprinkles was like the first thing I think it was like the first animated thing that we did together. It's sort of a precursor to Rick and Morty. If you haven't seen Mr. Sprinkles, check that one out too. If you can find it online. No idea where it is.
We have a question from one of the Council of Ricks. There you go.
Can I see you guys do the schwifty dance? Show us what you're
No.
Oh, come on!
Harmon will do it.
Do it!
dropping your panties and shitting on the floor. I can't do that. I can't do that.
We don't want to get arrested.
I just watched her sign shit, so that was pretty cool. Thank you, Dan.
This is so out of the box, and not know how people are going to react, and then know there are so many like-minded people out there that are like, no, this is the kind of shit we want.
Yeah. Well, that's the amazing thing about you can't even just say the internet because the internet existed for so long, but it's at a certain tipping point. It was around, I noticed, around the time when Lost was on the air, before I made Community, thank you. What we were seeing happening with Lost's fan base was, we don't have to be, we're all, every single human being in America, possibly the planet, but let's just assume America's the only nuts people. Like, we have this religious relationship with television, we obsess about stuff. But in the days of TV Guide being our only recourse to knowing what was going on with the shows and stuff, everybody would just go, I'm ashamed of myself for being obsessed with Cheers. I'm ashamed of myself for being obsessed with these things. And then when Lost came around, just at the time when it was right, they were putting treasure maps and secret codes and things, and the audience was saying, yes, I'm obsessed with the show. And the show was saying, that's okay. We want you to be more obsessed with it. And what we find out is that 1 million people watching your show is quite a lot of people, because obsession level counts for a lot. Counts for a lot of merchandising dollars, if you want to be crass.
A lot of fan theories.
Counts for a lot of cultural efficacy, a lot of off-channel marketing. I mean, it's a great time to make TV.
And also, how is Rick gonna get out of that pickle, right? At the end of season 2.
Yeah.
You guys probably have a bunch of fan theories about how that goes down.
Get Schwifty!
What is the Schwifty dance? What is it?
Oh shit, please. Dude, Cruise.
Give him. Yeah! It's Schwifty time today. How does the lyrics go? Oh my God. You guys sing it. Come on. Give Dan the song. Yeah. By the way, I just want to say that all of those songs were like Turner licensed music that we made for the little point and click adventure game, and it was like I just went in and sang over them without, I didn't care. I was like, I just went in and did them for the game, and then we kept listening to them while we were writing season 2, and Harmon was like, we have to use these songs.
All those songs were generated for Summer's iPod in the first Rick and Morty video game, which was an online point and click adventure.
Yeah.
The rushed license adventure.
Yeah, you can still play it. It's still on adlutswim.com.
Summer has an iPod in there, so Justin was just filling the iPod with Summer's music.
Yeah. There was no thought or time or they weren't written. It wasn't like there was just okay. Let's just get these done really quick.
But what about you? What is it like in Asgard?
We get Rick and Morty, that's all I care about. And Community, another show that
Swifting it up.
Same dance.
Honestly, same dance. I was like, oh, the Jeff Winger guy. I don't know. He was on Talk Soup. I don't know if I'm gonna like this. Somebody was like, dude, they were like, dude, you're gonna love this show. I watched it, and I'm like, it's awesome.
Joel McHale, I heard, wanted to audition for that part. Not audition even, just was interested in the part. And I watched The Soup, and I thought the same thing. This guy can't. He's too...
This piece-ish.
He's too cynical. He's too jaded. He's too witty. You know, I need somebody soft and and then he came in and he never auditioned for me anyway, because sitting and talking to him on the sofa, I was like, this is the guy, because he has that crazy David Spade exterior, but that's the irony, is how warm and human he is underneath.
But shout out to Joel.
Just like Iron Man. Just like Iron Man.
Oh my God, it's Megatron. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh no! Shit! He's pointing the gun.
Good dude.
And as we all know, Megatron's gun, which is the scope of a Walther.
Yeah, he can't hurt you until he
for some reason, when Megatron turns into a tiny gun and is held by Soundwave, it can blow the shit out of Optimus Prime.
He's not in the right form to cause any damage to anybody right now.
Weirdest bad guy ever. It's a gun. His legs are each one half of a gun handle, and the good guy's a semi-truck. It just doesn't seem like a fair fight.
Yeah, they just kind of. I think there were some toys that maybe existed. That
sorry, Megatron. I don't mean to. I mean to throw shade.
I kind of want to go back to Get Schwifty because, like, I look at the translator and, like, she translates and mouth shit on the floor.
Oh, that's so cool.
How do you translate
Oh, my
shit on the
goodness.
floor?
Wait, one more time for me.
Dude, I can cut this up.
Shit on the floor.
Oh, shit is a thumb getting pulled out of the floor. You know, everyone knows how to say shit in sign language.
Wow, we're learning. I'm so sorry for any of the youngins out in the crowd and their parents who are. Well, you guys watch Rick and Morty. What am I saying?
Well, yeah, but it's worth it. Think of if you are a parent and you're bummed out. Think of the handful of parents who are parents of maybe hearing impaired kids, and it's like those kids just got their life ratcheted up a notch. Morty, worth it.
Morty, we have a sign language person. Oh, geez, Rick, we got ourselves a real sign language person over here communicating visually like what we're talking about.
I know, it's crazy.
Like she's totally like interpreting like everything that we're talking about right now, Morty. Oh man, this is crazy, Rick. This is super crazy, Rick. I can just keep up. Is she gonna be able to keep up with me?
I don't know, Morty. How fast can we go?
Let's talk about zoos. Have you ever been to a zoo? I love zoos. I love panda bears. I love Japan. I like pizza. I could never. Too fast for me. Speaking of the youngins, I have a question from a youngin right here on your Boston show.
How do you guys come up with titles for the episodes such as autoerotic assimilation?
Over here.
Fucking mic drop.
Oh my god, there you are. Over here. How do we come up with titles like autoerotic as Rickspiation? What is that? What it is? It's like it's a pun on Rick's, right?
Yeah, I guess. In the 80s, TV shows like Remington Steele was a show, and so every title of every show would be like Steele of the Night and Steele of Dreams. I don't know.
Seinfeld is always like the suit guy. It's always the something. It's always the word the, and then
I guess it's just a sloppy homage to cleverness.
yeah. We tried to like we were like okay, let's stick with like spoofs of movies, and then it was like well then the Rick puns, and then it kind of just fell apart. Like we like the consistency sort of became, I guess, less consistent.
I think what we're glossing over is 2 minutes ago that kid just learned what shit on the floor is in sign language. Now he's learning what autoerotic asphyxiation is. You're gonna go home a fully rounded person.
But it's a sci-fi. When I was like 10 years old, I'm not telling people how to raise their kids, but all the parents here that have their kids here, I think they're nailing it because look at me, look how I turned out. When I was like 8, 9, 10 years old, my parents were separated, and my mom and I didn't have a very good. We weren't emotional people. My mom's kind of a hyper-verbal, nerdy woman, and we didn't hug and like cuddle and stuff, but she read sci-fi, and we started going to sci-fi conventions together, and there would, it was like we'd go to an author, and the author would be a transgender author and like say like all kinds of crazy evocative things about, and I was 9 years old, and my mom would say, you know what that word means, you know what that means, and I don't know, I'm just high-roading us.
I think you're right though. I think it's important that, younger kids, because like in the 70s, like shit flew. Like you could watch anything and your parents were like, whatever. And then like we're at a point now where it's so safe. Like everyone wants everything to be so safe. Yeah. So they flip around, they see Rick and Morty, and it's like it's not safe anymore. The younger kids.
It has a safe veneer.
Well, I never get a chance to talk to parents who won't let their kids watch Rick and Morty. I only talk to the parents who do, and I do. Like with the kids 8 years old, in my head I go, I'm not sure how old my kid would have to be before I let him watch Rick and Morty, but it's up to the parent, and I think that the parent is the key. I don't think there's anything you can expose your kid to.
The parent is the key.
If your parent's there, like
this is an ARG, an ARG.
Famous horror directors. There are people whose parents let them watch horror movies when they were 3 years old.
That was me. I was going into the West Coast Video, and I would go right to the horror section, and I'm like 6 years old, and I'm coming back with like, I don't know, whatever horrible Full Moon Productions, movie with Clive Barker's Hellraiser 3, with like a horrible sex scene where the girl gets killed. I'm 6 years old, And my mom, and it's like, yeah, no, it's fine. Okay, cool.
Because she's like, he's either going to be rich or a mass shooter, and in either case, I'm out. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get any back end on this deal.
It wasn't until I was 9 that all fell apart for about a week. You know, my mom was like, all right, no more of this horrible horror movie stuff for a week.
I think half the kids in the audience are like, what's a video store?
I know, yeah. West Coast Video.
My kid was 9 when I started watching Rick and Morty with her, and you shamed me on Twitter, saying I was irresponsible.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do, though. That's the right thing to do. Shame anyone who lets their children watch Rick and Morty.
And then secret.
That's probably looks a little edgy for them, for their age. The alternative is that they're a smart kid and they're just exposed to mainstream stuff, and then they have to internalize their sociopathic like schism from society. Like they'll just. When I was 9 years old, I started realizing everyone was a robot. I became obsessed. I thought the world was some game that God was playing with me, and everyone was fake.
Serious?
I was losing my mind.
I don't think you're that far off, really.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and I think that's a thing that happens. You know,
We all go through that. If you haven't, you will. Everyone's a robot. You're the only real person. The whole thing's a giant test.
Probably got time for.
But if you read Douglas Adams or something at that age, then you go, oh, okay, maybe this world's real because this guy's talking about what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We're back here by the Morty on this head.
Lift it up, come on, there we go. Oh, I see. Okay, yep.
So, my question to you is, why did you choose to narrate the court case using Rick and Morty's voice?
This guy. Well, I mean, like, Harmon, you found it.
Somebody sent it to me in a text, and I read the transcript, and I thought it was just bad comedy. I thought it was somebody wrote a bad hack, like, comedy thing, and then I researched it, and it was real. It was a real court case, and then I was obsessed with it, so I came into the writer's room, and I read it with another writer.
One of the writers.
I think Jane.
Yeah.
She read one part and I read the other part, and we were just going back and forth, and all the other writers were cracking up just because if you just read that transcript, it's insane. And then Justin came in while we were reading it, and then it was like.
And Harmon, I mean, we were super busy, but Harmon was like, if you can just find time to like just record this, and I was like, abso-effing-lutely.
And then Erica Hayes, who worked so fast and clean, like as a storyboard artist, we knew, that she was able to create just storyboards that flowed with it.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, if you look at it, it's really, I think Erica did like maybe 10 panels, across that whole like 9-minute or however long it is thing, and it just works so well. But yeah, it was hilarious. We didn't actually know if we were going to be able to show it to anybody because it was like, what are we going to do with this? Like, we made it, and it was kind of like, well, what can we do with this?
Yeah, I'm not complaining, but so we don't get to meet Stan Lee? I thought they said Stan Lee's.
I want to meet Stan Lee.
I thought he was going to be out here.
You thought he was moderating your panel, and you're like, guess what? You got the comic book men.
No, you're great. Yeah, sorry to disparage you.
No. I think we do. I think everyone here gets to meet Stan Lee, right? In a spiritual sense. Okay. Right? Like we're all kind of. We're in Stan's house right now.
He's orbiting the Earth in a special medical platform to cope with cameo fatigue. He has a rare disorder called cameo fatigue.
We love him.
The weirdest thing about that transcript too is like we went for a tour of the Rick and Morty studios yesterday. It looks like the most fun place to work ever. I don't know if that's the case.
No, it's fun, yeah.
There was a dude in like full wizard garb, like a robe or a wizard hat. It's strange, but okay, we got 1 minute. But like
that guy's been fired.
And I rewatched the.
Yeah, that was the last day. I was like, all right, no more wizards.
I rewatched the court thing, and like afterwards, I was like, that's somebody's real life. Like that's a guy saying that to a judge, and the judge arguing back. Like how bizarre is that?
Yeah. How crazy is it that the judge gets sucked into the? There's a point where the judge becomes the aggressor.
It's like a Breakfast Club thing. He's like, I got you for your
that's exactly your life. It's a really good. That is exactly what happens. It's like you get the horns bender. It's like all of a sudden the guy with all the power suddenly is down in the dirt with you. So how is the dirty guy not the hero in that case? If you can get an elitist to get down in the mud with you by any means necessary, right?
You got one more question, me? We got time for one more.
We got time for one more. Make it a good one, my friend. Right here. Oh, cool.
Hi.
Hi.
Will my buddy Bird Person be back in season 3?
Whoa, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
This may not be a good season for Bird Person.
Yeah, that's all we're gonna say. That is all. No, actually, well, no, that is all we're gonna say. I almost said something, but like, no, I shouldn't.
Bird Person's,
trust me, you'll thank me. You'll thank me when you watch it yourself.
Bird Person's residuals have been unfavorable.
So we're getting a high sign, so everyone, Justin, Roiland, and Dan Harmon.
Thank you guys so much. Peace among worlds.
Now that the parents could be bummed about. That's sorry.